Alright. Mauser Kar98k, 10 rounds as fast as I can.
You gotta ape that target up in the middle. Did you? Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Clear?
Clear. Alright.
Okay. Ready, Charlie?
He's a little too into it. I know, it's kind of scary. Goddamn Vietnamese.
Smile, Charlie. Okay. Way to go, Charlie.
Shooting for a group this time. My last 10 rounds went high and to the right, but this time I'm going to aim for the head. Let's see how I do. Oh shit. Shoulder. Well, here's my group with the Mauser Nagant and the Mauser Kar98k. Mauser Nagant shot all over the place, but that's just me probably, because I hate the trigger on it. Got a couple in the red, but I mean, we got rounds all over the place. I was aiming at the head with the Mauser Kar98k, just for fun, rapid fire, and I strung it. And to be fair, Mr. Shepard did some shooting with the Mauser Nagant too, but Kar98k is impressive. Very, very accurate. Shoots a bit high in the right, but that's because it's 50 meters and we're at 100. It's at a 100-yard battle sight minimum, and a bit to the right because of the wind. And I shot at the head 5 rounds just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I distinctly remember throwing that round. That was my fault. But yep. 50 meters. Okay, here's a close-up of the target I was shooting at with the Mauser Kar98k. Overall, I'd have to say I'm quite impressed with both my performance and the rifles. You saw me fire 5 rounds at the head, and I scored 3 hits out of 5. which doesn't sound spectacular, but in my defense, this head is approximately 3 inches, 3¼ inches wide. So it was also extremely cold and windy. It's about 15 degrees Fahrenheit out there. The wind was gusting up to like 25 or 30 miles per hour. I didn't have gloves, so I was shivering and shaking all over the place. You couldn't. I don't know if you can tell in the video. We'll see. But I was shaking pretty badly there. So that's my excuse. And here's the main group. It's kind of oblong in shape. You can see it kind of looks like a football. We have one down by the 7 here, and at the other end you got 2 holes that are touching each other by the 8. So I guess if you want to measure that, that's what do you want to say? 4.5 inches long by what do you want to call that? 2.5. 4.5 by 2.5 inches. You know, that's respectable. And that I'm going to ignore that flyer. That was completely my fault. I remember I was shivering. Like I said, I was shivering, and it just threw that blade out of the notch, and I pulled the trigger then. Don't know why. And it landed. Clipped his shoulder, but, you know, nothing lethal. Originally, I was aiming right at the center of this red zone right here, right at the X, and I was shooting high and a bit to the right. So then, after, you know, that group, I think I shot maybe 10 rounds up there, and then I started aiming with the tip, putting the tip of the blade right at the bottom of the red oval, and then the wind started gusting. So I guess that's why I started the round started going that way. But again, I'm extremely impressed. 4.5 by 2.5 inches for a group at 50 meters under the conditions that I was in. I'd have to say I'm impressed with that. I've had no training whatsoever. Now it's probably the coldest weather I've ever shot in before. So overall, I'd have to say I'm impressed.